It's going to be a big week ahead. A lot of companies reporting their earnings. What can we expect to see? Mike Eppel joins us now. Good morning.
Well, good morning, Melanie. Yeah, the market's hoping to see some huge numbers from the likes of Apple and Amazon and Google's parent company, which is known as Alphabet, and Facebook and Microsoft. A lot riding on the earnings that are due this week because on Friday, what did Wall Street do yet again? The Dow gained 223 points heading into the weekend. It's now up by more than 7% on the year so far. In fact, it's on pace for its best January since 1989. This is all predicated on the belief that corporate America is rolling in the dough right now. What with U.S. tax reform in place and global economic growth spurring on huge earnings for these giant companies. So if the numbers don't live up to expectations, this market could turn south very quickly, but it doesn't appear that at least that's going to be the case. These numbers are expected to be pretty darn good. Now, you add to the mix U.S. State of the Union address tomorrow for U.S. President Donald Trump, combined with some economic signals, including economic growth here in Canada. Report from StatsCan on that due on Wednesday, and the U.S. job creation data for January is shaping up to be a very interesting week indeed on the global markets. Bombardier scoring a big victory, a surprise victory Friday from the International Trade Commission, ruling against Boeing and those 300% tariffs that were slapped on the Bombardier-built C-Series jets imported into the United States. It was expected that the ITC would rule, in fact, on the home company Boeing. It didn't go that way. They've said that there is no harm being done to Boeing from those Bombardier C-Series planes, so that clears the runway, so to speak, for Delta to take possession of some of those Montreal-built aircraft, and also potentially saves thousands of jobs. And at the same time, could see Bombardier start to get some new orders for those planes, including a possibility from JetBlue of the United States. Bombardier stock Friday was up by 15%. And the sixth round of the NAFTA negotiations wrapping up today in Montreal. And for a change, they actually are sounding a little bit optimistic that they did there was some progress made on the trade talks. Now, the trade negotiators for all three countries admit they were working sort of on the edges. There's still some big disputes on auto trade and dispute resolution, but nevertheless, a little bit of cautious optimism coming out of that. And potentially, that could also be good for the North American economy if they can get a deal. Now it's kind of up to the politicians to work alongside. We'll send it back to the studio.